Green Bay Packers are in a very interesting spot when it comes to the NFL draft. Along with having the No. 12 overall pick, the Packers also have pick No. 30 and they can go in a few different directions. At the start of free agency, the Packers signed 2 edge rushers, 1 safety and 1 offensive lineman. Those positions were top needs for the Packers, and with the team having 10 draft picks, they can focus on other needs that will improve the roster. One of the biggest needs the Packers have is tight end. Jimmy Graham will be back in 2019 and the team also resigned Marcedes Lewis. However, the Packers need a younger tight end who can stretch the middle of the field for Aaron Rodgers. Another need is wide receiver since the Packers lost Randall Cobb to the Dallas Cowboys. The good news for the Packers is Geronimo Allison will be back 100% healthy after suffering a core muscle injury last year. But the Packers still need another deep threat Rodgers in the new offense. Here's a look at the top candidates for the Packers to draft with their 2 first-round picks. T.J. Hawkinson had a big 2018 season for the Hawkeyes as he recorded 49 receptions for 760 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's also a strong blocker which will be needed in the new Packers offense led by head coach Matt LaFleur. Hawkinson could be the replacement for Jimmy Graham who could be cut after the 2019 season, and the Packers do have interest in Hawkinson as they reportedly interviewed him at the Combine. UW had their shot at Fant but never offered. Noah Fant had a strong 2018 season for the Hawkeyes, recording 39 receptions for 518 yards and 7 touchdowns. He had a breakout season in 2017 as he notched 30 receptions for 494 yards and 11 touchdowns. He was named to the All-Big Ten third team in 2017 and the All-Big Ten first team last year. In my opinion, I feel like I'm a great overall tight end, Fant said at the Combine. I feel like after my field workout, people will really get to see my speed, get to see my jumping ability. At the bench, they'll get to see my power. So, people really haven't gotten to see that yet, so I'm hoping to put up big numbers. Josh Jacobs had a breakout season for the Crimson Tide in 2018, recording 640 rushing yards and 11 touchdowns on 120 carries. He also had 20 receptions, 247 receiving yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. The Packers are looking for another RB, so if they don't find one in free agency, drafting Jacobs would be a strong option. DK Metcalf didn't post eye-popping numbers at Ole Miss due to his health. His most notable season was 2017 when he recorded 39 receptions for 646 yards and 7 touchdowns in 12 games. He has the tools to be a dominant receiver and NFL.com compared him to Josh Gordon. Metcalf would be a good no. 2 option for the Packers if he can stay healthy and continue to develop. Ole Miss wide receiver A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is one of the prospects who will visit with the Packers and he was one of the most dynamic wide receivers in the country the last 2 seasons. In 2017, Brown recorded 75 receptions for 1,252 yards and 11 touchdowns. In 2018, Brown notched 85 receptions for 1,320 yards and 6 touchdowns. He was named to the All-SEC first team for 2 consecutive years. Oliver was one of the more dominant defensive tackles in college football. In 2018, Oliver recorded 54 tackles, 14.5 tackles for loss and 3 sacks. In his career, Oliver registered 53 tackles for loss and 13.5 sacks. Some experts have compared Oliver to reigning Defensive Player of the Year Aaron Donald, but Lance Zierlein of NFL.com compared him to Michael Bean Perry, a 6-time Pro Bowler and the younger brother of NFL legend William Perry. Devin White was one of the more consistent linebackers in the country for the last couple of seasons. In 2017, White recorded 133 tackles, 13.5 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks and 1 interception. In 2018, White posted 123 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 6 passes defended and 2 fumble recoveries. Along with being named the All-SEC First Team this past season, White was named to the All-America First Team by Walter Camp, AP, Sporting News and AFCA, and he also won the Butkus Award, which is given to the nation's best linebacker. Nasir Adderley grew up in Malvern, just 30 minutes outside of Philly. Nasir Adderley had a strong season for Delaware in 2018, recording 48 tackles, 4 interceptions and 7 pass breakups. His play in 2018 led to him being named to the APFCS All-America Second Team. The interesting thing about Adderley is his cousin is Herb Adderley, who played for the Packers from 1961 to 1969. The elder Adderley helped the Packers win 5 NFL titles and he's a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I knew of him, Nasir Adderley said of Pro Football Hall of Famer Herb Adderley at the Combine, but my grandfather, he was a pretty big influence in my life, and Herb is my grandfather's first cousin. Once he passed away, he was really my only male role model and figure in my life. So, once he passed away, unfortunately, we really started to bond and connect. And it's just been great having him there for me. Even though the Packers signed 2 edge rushers in free agency, they are showing interesting in some of the prospects in the draft as they are bringing in Montez Sweat for a visit. Sweat has been a very consistent pass rusher for Mississippi State the last 2 seasons. In 2017, Sweat recorded 48 tackles, 15.5 tackles for loss and 10.5 sacks. This year, Sweat has recorded 51 tackles, 14 tackles for loss and 11.5 sacks. Sweat was named to the AP All-America Second Team this year for his production. Michigan linebacker Devin Bush leads the Wolverines with 77 tackles. Devin Bush had a breakout season in 2017, tallying 95 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks and 7 passes defended. He had a strong 2018 season, recording 66 tackles, 8.5 tackles for loss and 4.5 sacks. Along with being a consensus All-American, Bush was named the Big Ten Linebacker of the Year as well as the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. Bush announced back in December he will forego his senior season and enter the draft.